Had a lot going on back here. Had a lot going on back here. As you said, I had a lot
Yeah.
going on back here. But
Good or bad or both?
both. But the good outweighed the bad so greatly. The good outweighs the bad. I just wish that the bad would see how much the good outweighs it. You feel me?
Tell us about it then.
I'm getting money back here. You feel me? I'm getting money back here. I don't have time for the drama.
All right.
I'm building a
That's
nation
good.
back here. That's all I'm saying. I just
Hey, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
YP.
60 bands again today. What'd you say?
Yeah. Hey, just to kick off the show, I want to publicly thank you for something that you did for me several years back. So back when my account was teeny, and you had this massive account on Instagram, on YouTube, hundreds of thousands of followers. You gave me an opportunity to come on your show, and I got to vibe with more of your tribe. And after we did those lives, I was thinking to myself, like, man, like he didn't have to do that because my account was so small. Like, there's nothing for you to be gained from vibing with me, but you just like to vibe with me, and I really appreciated that. So I know you got deleted multiple times, and I called Chris, I called Crystal, and I said, hey, man, like the least we could do is help raise awareness that YP is back at General Otson. So if you guys could support the man who has done a lot for this movement, because
a tremendous amount.
Tremendous amount, because I just want to say this too, that, you know, it's amazing how you could do 99. Everyone was afraid. You came on YouTube, was talking mad shit, calling out the deep states, and you provided us with a tremendous sense of security. I remember that. And then whatever happened last year, people seem to want to hold on to that one thing that they disagree with, and I don't think that's fair. So I want to.
It wasn't even nothing major though. I got in my house, minding my business. I'm building an army over here. Okay, I'm building a nation over here. I'm building. You know what I mean, I'm doing a lot of things over here. I have a state-of-the-art library. I get up I'm in the process of turning myself into. Let's not use the term doctor because I don't want to be in court arguing over that shit. So I'm gonna just say one of the greatest holistic healers ever. I got the fucking cure for everything over here. Yeah, I'm minding my business, but I do meet from time to time. I have a little fun from time to time because I'm a man. And somebody gave me something that didn't tell me that it had mushrooms in it. And I had an experience. I'm not gonna lie. Now I'm gonna tell you my experience. Now listen, a lot of people might say that it's true or it's not true. But schizophrenia don't exist. I'm not going for that. So I said to say this. Somebody gave me mushroom tea. Now, this was my experience. This person started fucking shape-shifting or some shit. Do you hear me? They started turning into another being. I don't know what the fuck it was, bro. You could say it was an alien. You could say it was a demonic being. But I feel like I exorcised the spirit out of my fucking house. That's a fact. I will argue with anybody about that. Now, boom. She starts shifting. Now, like I said, y'all probably seen them videos I threw up on YouTube. Y'all probably seen them. Because I had to, for myself, document what the fuck was happening. Because in my mind, to me, I knew that I was drugged. So I'm like, I know in my mind, I'm not all the way goddamn right. Fuck what you're talking about. I'm not all the way right, pal. I know myself. So I'm like, let me start documenting this shit because I'm about to shoot one of y'all motherfuckers in a minute. And when I shoot your ass, I need to be able to explain this shit. I need to be able to explain this shit. So I'm not understanding why I'm seeing shit. Now, whether I was hallucinating or not, I probably could have been hallucinating. But I knew to myself that I wasn't right. I know myself. So to me, this bitch started turning into what I would call a reptilian. Now that bitch started shaping into a reptilian to me. So that was my experience. Now, boom. As y'all probably seen on that video, I asked her, was she the police, the military, or the reptilian, or an alien? Because that's what the fuck I seen at the time. Now, long story short, I go in my kitchen. I start trying to, like, you know when you drunk and you feel like, let me start eating food so that way it'll kind of soak up the alcohol. Y'all ever do that?
Like bread, like old bread.
Yeah, like eating bread, right? So that's what I'm telling myself. So I'm like, let me go try to eat some shit to see if I'm high or something, or if I'm drunk or something. Mind you, I just started smoking weed. I never did drugs all my life. So I'm like, what the fuck? So goddamn, after a while, after a minute, it's still not going away. I'm like, what's wrong with me? So I'm still trying to figure out what's wrong with me. So I go to turn around, boom, I go in it's like I'm coming out of my kitchen and come through my living room. And she coming towards me in the kitchen, boom, now we meet, we both standing right there. And it's like, whatever the fuck I'm seeing, right? Whatever the fuck I'm seeing, whether I'm hallucinating or not, I could have been looking to a fucking parallel dimension. Because this not my first time I seen a being off drugs. I'm going to tell y'all another story after this. When I seen the devil off drugs. Somebody gave me X pills when I was young. And I didn't know. It was my first and last taking them. Why the fuck you would let me take X pills with you that young? I don't have a fucking clue. But I had an experience then too. But I said to say this. Boom. So we meet in the living room. And whatever it is, I could feel it trying to penetrate my aura. Like, I swear to God, it's like I could feel my aura on the outside, and whatever it is trying to penetrate my aura real hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like think of like screwing a nail through a wall, like that kind of frequency. I could feel it trying to penetrate my aura. So now her and my ex-bodyguard at the time, okay, he asked me before, like, do you trust me with your life? Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't never had a motherfucker ask me a question like that. Never. And I done been to prison. I done been through a lot of shit in life. You feel me? I might not be the hardest motherfucker in the world, but I done been through some hard ass stuff. I could walk through an environment that the average motherfucker can't walk through. Facts. So I said to say this. I'm like, bitch, what? You know, I'm like, bitch, what? Do I trust you with my motherfucking life? Yeah, but not. He asked me that, so I asked her back. I'm like, do you trust me with your life? And she like, yeah, why? I'm like, remember you asked me that question? She like, yeah. I'm like, because I'm about to aim this gun at you, but I'm not gonna put my finger on the trigger. And I'm like, listen, you scaring the shit out of me right now. And everybody got shit they scared of, but bitch, I ain't never really been scared of no woman like that.
Wait, are we talking about your baby mama or some other
this
person?
Is somebody else saying, that's my ex. It's not my baby mama. This is somebody else. But I'm like, just explaining what happened, what's been going on back here. So I'm like, you scaring the fuck out of me right now. You're scaring the fuck out of me. So I aimed the gun at her, but I had my finger off the trigger. It was my bodyguard gun. I had my finger off the trigger. And whatever it was, and now in my mind, I remember when of course, I read books. So in my mind, I mean, when I was in prison, I turned towards Buddhism. I remember I told myself, it will kind of help me get over my fear of spiders. You feel me? And I ain't gonna say I'm completely over them, but I'm not as fearful of them as I was. Books on oneness, I remember telling myself, you're really just afraid of the unknown. And I'm not really afraid of spiders, because if it's oneness, we really are just afraid of an extension of ourselves that look different. You know what I'm saying? We are interconnected. We just different versions of one source. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's what. So now that understanding came to me in that moment. Again, it came to me, and I was like, even if this bitch is an alien, I'm scared, but I'm not being attacked.
God, yeah.
So I was like, in my mind, I'm like, I really can't shoot you, bitch, because technically you're not attacking me. I'm just scared as a motherfucker. But I haven't been attacked. I'm just afraid of something I never seen before. So I threw my left arm. Go grab that trigger, but bitch, soon as I feel any contact on my arm, I'm gonna blow your motherfucking head off. So that's what I told myself. So now I feel the being penetrating my aura. penetrating my aura, and as it's getting through, it's like I can feel it. I'm telling you, I can feel it in my inner self. It's like I can feel this spirit trying to penetrate my fucking spirit, like it's trying to penetrate my aura. And then I just told myself, I'm like, don't fear. And when I said that, it went. I got maids in my house. The maids probably could have cleaned that shit up by then. But if the police would have came in here right then on the spot and DNA tested right there on the spot, it would have been piss on my floor and it would have been piss on my second sofa. Now, peep game. When I said, no fear. When I said that to her, because I felt the being trying to penetrate me, swear to God, on my kids, on my dead man, bro, she passed out. And when she passed out, whatever it was, that shit went through my ceiling. I swear to God on my life. That shit went through my ceiling. And that bitch passed out in my living room, and it was piss on my goddamn floor. And she was laying in her own piss. Now I jumped over her. Boom. I jump over her body on the floor. I jump over her body. I go sit halfway up my steps. Now, while I'm halfway up my steps, I'm aiming the gun at her. Now, I went halfway up the steps because in my mind, I'm like, this might sound crazy, but in my mind, I'm like, bitch, if you get up and do some Exorcist Emily Rose shit in my house, I'm going to air you out in this motherfucker. I'm going to air you out. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you got to come straight, and then you got to come around the corner of the steps. So that's going to give me enough time to aim your ass. So, bitch, if you don't get up and come flying, bitch, I got enough time to aim at your ass. So, goddamn, as I'm sitting on the stairs, I'm calling her. I'm like, Jocelyn, Jocelyn, Jocelyn. She not getting up. I'm calling this bitch's name for like at least 2-3 minutes. Swear to God, I'm like, Jocelyn, Jocelyn, Jocelyn. I keep calling. I'm like, Jocelyn, Jocelyn. She not getting up. So I come down the stairs and I'm like kicking and tapping at her. But I still got the gun aimed at her, but I got the gun aimed at her legs because I'm like, it's not a vital shot. Jocelyn, Jocelyn. She's not getting up. I'm like, Jocelyn. I'm calling her. She's not getting up. So I grab her with my left arm, drag her around the couch. I throw her on that second sofa. Now, when I throw her on that second sofa, I back up to my entertainment system. And as I'm backed up to my entertainment system, I got the gun aimed at her legs. But I'm backed up because in my mind, I'm like, I don't want this bitch to wake up and think I did something to her. If this bitch wake up. So I'm backed all the way against the entertainment system, but I got the gun at her. I'm still calling her. I'm like, Jocelyn, 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 Jocelyn. She not getting up. So getting up. So finally